Aquarius. August 14th isn't just another date. It's the opening of your final karmic battle. The universe has been setting this up for months, testing you, pushing you, placing you in moments where every reaction counts. And now, everything comes to a head. On this day, old wounds, hidden fears, and unresolved cycles will rise up to meet your higher self's mission. The air will feel electric, emotions heightened, coincidences impossible to ignore, and signs pointing you toward a truth you've been avoiding. But make no mistake, this is not random. It's a karmic script written long before you were born. Not to punish you, but to strip away illusions, fake alliances, and outdated beliefs, so you can finally step into the life you were meant for. And here's the twist. The attacks won't come labeled. They'll look like everyday life. A conversation, a conflict, a temptation. If you miss the signs, you'll repeat an old cycle. But if you're ready, you'll pass the test, level up, and step into a new reality. Today, I'll reveal the 3 spiritual attacks you must prepare for, and how to win. Attack number 1. The emotional trigger trap. The first spiritual attack waiting for you on August 14th is what I call the emotional trigger trap. And Aquarius, this one is powerful because it doesn't come from outside enemies. It comes from inside you. Here's how it works. You could wake up feeling balanced, peaceful, maybe even optimistic about your day. And then, out of nowhere, something happens. Maybe it's a message from someone you haven't spoken to in years. Maybe it's a strange post on social media. Maybe it's a comment from someone close to you that hits just the wrong nerve. Before you even realize it, your body reacts. Your chest tightens, your pulse quickens, your mind starts racing with old memories. And suddenly, you're not in the present moment anymore. You're back in a memory from years ago. You're feeling old anger, jealousy, insecurity, or guilt that you thought you had buried and healed. This is not an accident. On days of karmic battles, the universe will often reopen the wound you least want to see. Not to hurt you, but to show you where your armor is still weak. These moments act like mirrors, reflecting the exact places where your soul still has work to do. The trap is simple, but dangerous. If you react without awareness, you feed the same cycle you've been stuck in before. If you pause and choose differently, you break the loop forever. Think of it like a video game level you've played 100 times. Same enemy, same obstacle. But until you learn the trick to beating it, you're stuck replaying it over and over. August 14th gives you another shot at the level. How this attack might appear. An old flame or former friend suddenly reappears. You get that "Hey stranger" text, and instantly your heart races. Not because you want them back, but because they still hold emotional weight. You might feel anger, longing, or unresolved sadness. A familiar argument reignites. Someone says something, and you know you've had this fight before. Maybe not word for word, but it's the same theme, the same emotional sting. An old insecurity gets triggered. Out of nowhere, you start doubting yourself, your looks, your talent, your worth, because something someone said reminded you of a time you felt less than. All of these moments are energy traps. They're designed to make you react, not respond. The karmic danger. If you react the way you did in the past, if you lash out, retreat, or spiral into self-doubt, you've just recycled the karma. The same story plays again, and you'll face it in the future until you learn to rewrite the ending. But if you can observe the trigger without losing yourself in it, you win. You pass the test. You send a signal to the universe. I'm ready for the next chapter. How to win this battle. Here's your survival toolkit for August 14th. Pause before responding. When that emotional rush hits, stop. Don't text back right away. Don't clap back in the argument. Give your mind a moment to breathe before your mouth follows your emotions. Ask the golden question. Is this about right now, or am I reliving an old story? This one question can instantly snap you out of the past and into the present. Ground yourself. Physically, put your bare feet on the floor. Hold something solid in your hands. Feel your breath move in and out. This helps pull you out of the emotional fog. Use the observer mind. Instead of being in the storm, imagine you're watching it from above. See the situation like a movie scene, and you'll be less likely to get swept into the drama. The magic that happens when you pass the test. If you can get through this trigger without repeating your old reaction, you'll notice something almost magical. The person, memory, or situation that once had power over you suddenly feels neutral. It's like the emotional hook that kept you tied to that karma simply dissolves. And when that happens, your energy rises. You start attracting new opportunities, better relationships, and clearer guidance from the universe. It's like finally clearing a glitch in your energy field. The very glitch that kept looping you into the same patterns. But here's the warning. Once you escape this trap, the battle isn't over. The karmic forces may shift tactics. If they can't hook you emotionally, they might try something subtler, something that steals your energy without you realizing it. That's where the second spiritual attack comes in. And Aquarius, this one is so sneaky that most people don't notice it until they're already too drained to fight back. Attack number 2, the energy leech effect. Aquarius, the second spiritual attack on August 14th, is one of the sneakiest and most underestimated. I call it the energy leech effect. Unlike the emotional trigger trap, which comes at you fast and loud, this one works in whispers. It creeps in quietly, drains you slowly, and before you know it, you're too tired to even notice you're under attack. This is when people, situations, or even environments start pulling on your life force, not always maliciously, but relentlessly. It doesn't usually start with a fight, a shock, or a dramatic event. It starts with something small. A text from someone who just needs a little advice, a favor that won't take long, a conversation that should only be a minute. But that minute turns into an hour. That small favor turns into a full-blown rescue mission. And by the end of the day, your energy is gone. And here's the dangerous part. During a karmic battle, your energy is your greatest weapon. If it's scattered, drained, or tied up in distractions, you lose clarity, focus, and strength. You become easier to sway, easier to confuse, easier to pull off your path. The energy leech effect thrives on your kindness, your empathy, and your natural Aquarius desire to help the world. These are beautiful traits, but they can also be exploited. How the energy leech effect shows up. The emotional vampire. You know, the person who always calls you in crisis mode. Every conversation is about their problems, their drama, their fears, and by the time they hang up, you feel like you've just run an emotional marathon. The subtle distractor. This could be a co-worker, friend, or even an online group that constantly pulls you into gossip, debates, or endless discussions that have nothing to do with your goals. The silent drain. Sometimes it's not even a person. It's an environment, a cluttered room, a noisy workspace, or even a toxic online feed that bombards your mind with negativity until you feel heavy and unmotivated. Self-inflicted energy loss. This one's hard to admit. Habits like endless scrolling, procrastination, or overcommitting to things you don't actually care about can drain you just as much as people can. Signs you're under this attack. You feel tired, heavy, or unmotivated after interacting with certain people or being in certain places. Your mind feels foggy, and decision-making takes twice as long as it should. You notice that your own goals, dreams, and priorities keep getting pushed to tomorrow because you're constantly dealing with other people's problems today. The karmic lesson hidden in this attack. The universe is asking you a simple but profound question. Can you protect your energy without feeling guilty? As an Aquarius, you're a humanitarian at heart. You care deeply about people, causes, and the bigger picture. But there's a reason flight attendants tell you to put on your own oxygen mask before helping others. If your energy is depleted, your ability to actually help in a meaningful, sustainable way is gone. How to win this battle? Identify your energy drains. Sit down and make a list of the people, situations, and habits that leave you feeling worse after engaging with them. You'll be surprised at how clear the patterns become once you write them down. Take strategic breaks. You don't have to cut people out forever, but you can take a pause, limit conversations, step away from draining environments, and put your own priorities back at the top of your to-do list, at least for this karmic window. Protect your digital space. Social media and news can be massive energy leeches, especially during high-energy astrological events. Curate your feed. Mute, unfollow, or block anything that doesn't uplift or inspire you. Clear your energy daily. This is crucial right now. Salt baths, sage or incense, sound bowls, meditation, or even a simple walk in nature can reset your field and keep you strong. The point is to actively replenish, not just hope you'll feel better tomorrow. Reframe no as a sacred word. Saying no is not rejection, it's protection. Every no to something draining is a yes to something aligned. Why protecting your energy is critical. Right now, if you conserve your energy now, you'll have the clarity and power to face what's coming next. Because the final spiritual attack on August 14th doesn't just go after your emotions or your vitality. It goes after something even more important, your connection to your intuition. That's the ultimate target in this karmic battle, because when you doubt your inner guidance, you're vulnerable to making choices that pull you off your soul's path. And Aquarius, the forces you're up against would love nothing more than to see you second-guess yourself. Attack number 3, the intuition sabotage. Aquarius, we've arrived at the most dangerous and final spiritual attack of August 14th. The one that doesn't go after your emotions or your energy, but instead targets something far more precious, your intuition. I call it the intuition sabotage, a subtle, calculated force designed to pull you away from your inner knowing, to make you doubt the quiet voice inside that always leads you toward your highest path. If the emotional trigger trap is a loud storm, and the energy leech effect is a slow drip, intuition sabotage is like fog. It seeps in quietly, blurring your vision until you can't see what's right in front of you. Here's how it plays out. You get a gut feeling about something. Maybe it's a decision, a person, a sudden urge to go somewhere or avoid something. It's not coming from your mind. It's coming from that deep, almost primal place in your soul. You know it's important. You feel it in your body. But then, here comes the sabotage. Maybe someone close to you says, "That doesn't make sense." Maybe you read something online that completely contradicts your inner guidance. Or maybe fear creeps in, whispering, "What if you're wrong? What if you make a mistake? And just like that, you start second-guessing. You set aside the message your soul gave you and reach for logic, analysis, research, or other people's opinions. Now, don't get me wrong, logic is valuable, research is important, but on August 14th, the karmic energy is pushing you into a space where your soul, not your mind, has the map. And if you ignore it, you risk walking right past the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Why this is extra tricky for Aquarius? Aquarius, your mind is one of your greatest strengths. You can see patterns, spot trends, and understand complex ideas better than most. But that same brilliance can be your trap. When your mind gets in the driver's seat during a karmic shift, it can rationalize away the very guidance that's meant to protect you. You might think, I'll just gather more information first, but often, that delay is enough for the karmic opportunity to pass. Signs you're under intuition sabotage. You feel torn between what your heart says and what makes sense logically. You keep asking other people what they think, even though you already know the answer. Deep down, there's a strange sense of urgency, like you're being rushed into making a choice before you've had time to connect inward. You dismiss your dreams, signs, or synchronicities as just coincidences. Why this attack is so dangerous? Your intuition is your lifeline in a karmic battle. It's like having a built-in GPS that sees the roadblocks before you do. If you're disconnected from it, you're driving blind. And in moments of heightened spiritual energy, like August 14th, that's when detours, distractions, and wrong turns can cost you the most. The forces that trigger intuition sabotage don't need to convince you to make a huge mistake. They just need to get you to hesitate, to stall, to choose something safer instead of what your soul is pushing you toward. How to win this battle? Slow down your decisions. On August 14th, treat every major decision like a sacred act. If something feels urgent, ask yourself if the urgency is coming from your intuition or from outside pressure. Real guidance rarely comes with panic attached. Journal your intuitive hits. Before you talk to anyone else, write down your gut feelings, dreams, or sudden insights. This way, you capture them in their pure form before outside voices can influence you. Ask the no one else question. If no one else's opinion mattered, not my friends, not my family, not society, what would I choose right now? The answer you get in that moment is almost always the right one. Trust the first feeling, not the second guess. Your initial gut reaction is often the truest. The second, third, and fourth thoughts are usually fear or conditioning, creeping in to override it. Watch for synchronicities. The universe communicates through signs, repeated numbers, songs, phrases, random encounters. If you've been asking for guidance and you keep seeing the same signal, pay attention. You'll find that decisions feel easier, opportunities flow faster, and the right people show up at exactly the right time. That's because once you trust your inner compass, the universe stops sending lessons to teach you and starts sending blessings to reward you. This is the moment your old cycle ends. No more reacting from wounds. No more giving away your energy. No more second-guessing the voice inside you. Aquarius, August 14th, could be the day your soul takes the lead for good. And if you've made it through all three spiritual attacks, the emotional trigger trap, the energy leech effect, and the intuition sabotage, you're not just surviving this karmic battle. You're graduating from, and that, my friend, is exactly why you must hold the line until the very last moment of this day. Final cosmic call. Your voice matters here. Approximately 500 words. Aquarius. August 14th is not a day to be passive. It's a day to be fully present, fully aware, and fully in your power. You've heard the 3 spiritual attacks: emotional trigger trap, energy leech effect, and intuition sabotage. Now, the choice is yours. The karmic battle isn't about winning against others. It's about winning against the parts of yourself that want to stay small, silent, or stuck. Every time you pause before reacting, protect your energy, or trust your gut, you're stepping into the version of yourself that your soul came here to be. In the comments, tell me, which of the 3 spiritual attacks resonates with you the most right now? Have you felt these energies building before August 14th? What's your plan to protect your energy and intuition today? By sharing, you're not just commenting. You're anchoring your intentions into reality. You're telling the universe, I see the battle, I'm ready for it, and I'm choosing my higher path. And remember, Aquarius, karmic battles are not punishments. They're promotions in disguise. The fact that you're even hearing this message means you're already on the short list of souls ready to rise to the next level. Stand tall. Stay clear. Trust your inner compass. August 14th could be the day that changes everything.